We are the People's Channel.
Cross, Robbie, oh! Oh, he met it so well. And Whitmore! Theodore Whitmore. Absent without leave, this is Whitmore. Paul and Gale both available, it's still Whitmore. And it's now 2-0.
Big up football from Yard Massive as we enter the 2021 Gold Cup season. The Reggae Boyz were able to pick up 3 points from their first group stage game with a comfortable 2-0 win over Suriname, courtesy of a Shamar Nicholson strike and a spectacular Bobby Reid volley. While there's still a lot of room for improvement, the team can leave the game feeling good about picking up 3 points and keeping a clean sheet. Although the attacking play was somewhat inconsistent, the team did create their fair share of goal-scoring opportunities. On the other end, the defense was able to successfully shut out the opposition, keeping the dangerous Suriname wingers at bay. Coach Theodore Whitmore's lineup consisted of a combination of mainstays over the past few years and recent English-based additions who joined the team earlier this year. Team captain and Philadelphia Union goalkeeper Andre Blake led the team in goal. Dominant defender Damien Lowe was joined by Reading FC captain Liam Moore in the centre of the defence. Blake's club teammate Alvis Powell occupied the right back slot, while Amari'i Bell occupied the left. The English-based Bell, who recently signed with Luton Town in the English Championship, was making his 4th consecutive start since joining the team earlier this year. Senior player and long-time left-back Kimara Taxi-Lawrence joined the Gold Cup pre-tournament camp late and has played a lot of club matches in quick succession prior to the tournament. Michael Hector of Fulham and Daniel Johnson of Preston North End were in the midfield, with Hector's club teammate Bobby Reid playing in a more advanced position. Blair Turgott, who plays his football at Östersunds in Sweden, was rewarded for a good tour of Japan with a start on the left. Bundesliga star Leon Bailey was on the right flank for his 2nd Gold Cup, while the towering Shamar Nicholson played as a centre forward. The first half saw Jamaica scoring 2 goals. The first came in the 6th minute, as Alvis Powell played a through ball to Leon Bailey that destabilized the Suriname defence. The ball eventually made its way to Shamar Nicholson via Daniel Johnson. Nicholson created some room for himself on the edge of the box before shooting the ball into the lower left-hand corner. The first goal was an excellent one, but the second one was truly one to remember. In the 26th minute, Damien Lowe played a long ball towards Shamar Nicholson. The opposition defender was first to the ball, but it got no further than just in front of Bobby Reid, who hit a sweet one-time volley past the keeper and into the back of the net. Except for one play following the first goal, where team captain Andre Blake came to the rescue, the boys did a good job of holding off the Suriname team. Attacker Geraldo Becker, who plays in the German Bundesliga, was a handful. In the second half, Jamaica played in a conservative fashion, but still generated enough chances that they probably should have added to the tally for the night. Suriname brought on wingers in the second half that provided the Jamaican wingbacks with some level of discomfort, but they never truly threatened Andre Blake's goal. Most of the players should leave the game being satisfied with their performance, but there is room for improvement. So let's discuss the individual ratings. Team captain Andre Blake was his usual solid self in goal. He came up big in the first half on Suriname's only clear-cut chance. He saved a few shots, but none of them were out of the ordinary for him. His distribution was solid throughout the game as well. He scores an 8 for his showing. Damien Lowe continued his multi-year run of dominant displays in the Gold Cup. Lowe pretty much won anything that was in his vicinity on the defensive end and was also very effective in possession, moving the ball from defense directly to the attackers. The performance was worthy of a 9. Liam Moore was solid on the day. He effectively dealt with most of Suriname's attacks and was good in possession. As we've seen in recent games, Moore is vulnerable against pace, especially when the team plays a high line, and we saw that on Suriname's best opportunity to score. His partnership with Lowe looks impressive and should improve as the tournament goes on. He gets a 7. Alvis Powell made a number of key tackles and was responsible for starting the play that led to the first goal. Powell also had the task of containing Geraldo Becker, Suriname's dangerous attacker. Despite making a number of good plays in possession, he also had a couple sloppy turnovers and relatively simple passes. Given the pace of the Suriname wingers, Powell was the correct choice by the coaching staff at right back on the day. He gets a 6. Amari'i Bell is Mr. Consistent, and his review will be similar to the previous 3 games. He is solid in defense, good in possession, but will have a couple turnovers under pressure during the game. Bell generally held up well against the Suriname attackers, although there were a couple plays where his opponents gave him problems. Bell gets a 6. Michael Hector was solid on the day. He provided a good shield in front of the defense and effectively rotated into position when Low pushed forward in possession. There's room for more forward passing in his game, but he also had a nice through ball down the flank that eventually led to one of the team's best chances in the second half. For his first game in months, it was definitely a decent showing. He gets a 6. Daniel Johnson was a key part of the opening goal and had a few nice plays in possession. He had a couple sloppy turnovers in the first half, but otherwise was solid and defensively sound as well. It was his first competitive match in months after suffering an injury at the end of the English Championship season, and certainly a good start to the tournament. He gets a 6. Bobby Reid didn't get a lot of the ball in the final third, but when he did, he looked dangerous. He sealed the game with his 26-minute volley, a finish worthy of any league or any tournament. Reid, as always, hustled to the last minute he was on the field. I expect him to combine more effectively with Daniel Johnson as the tournament goes on. He gets a 9. Blair Turgot, as is customary, worked hard on both ends of the field. He was able to create some opportunities in possession through his shifty moves and generate some fouls as well. There's room for improvement with his decision making and becoming more in sync with striker Shamar Nicholson. Turgot gets a 6. Leon Bailey had a difficult day. The Suriname team focused on closing down Bailey quickly, and Bailey struggled a bit in possession as he held on to the ball too long and looked a little bit off the pace of play. He was injured at the end of the German season, so it may take a few more games for Bailey to play his way into top form. He gets a 5. Goal scorer Shamar Nicholson put in a good shift. His physical presence gave the Suriname team problems. Of all the strikers on the team, Nicholson is the most dangerous on the edge of the box, as we saw with his goal. He probably could have had one, if not 2 more goals with better finishing. He is another player who's been out of season and injured, thus will likely get better as the tournament goes on. He gets a 7. Now on to the substitutes. Corey Burke came in and primarily played on the left flank. Burke added some much needed energy to the attack. However, on the defensive end, he probably needs to be a bit more tidy as he gave away a few unnecessary fouls. He gets a 6. When Devon Speedy Williams entered the field, the interchange of the midfielders improved as it benefited from Speedy's short, snappy passes. He did have one missed pass that could have led to a good counter for Jamaica, but overall was solid in his showing. He gets a 6. O'Neill Fisher was immediately under pressure upon entering the field as the Suriname attack focused on the flanks. He didn't really have much time on the ball during his cameo to make a meaningful contribution to the attack. The LA Galaxy fullback gets a 5. Junior Flemings came in and added some much needed energy and a direct threat on the flank. He looked very dangerous in his cameo, and the Suriname defenders had problems containing him as he surged forward. He continued the trend from his 2019 tournament of being heavily fouled. He gets a 7. Lamar Walker didn't have enough time to make much of an impression during his cameo. He gets a 5. All in all, Coach Whitmore and the players seemed pleased during the post-match press conference, while acknowledging that the performance, particularly in the second half, leaves room for improvement. The team will stay in Orlando to prepare for the next match, a July 12th encounter against Guadeloupe in the same stadium. After that one, we'll link up again. Respect for tuning in to Football from Yard. Linkage next time.
Oh, he met it so well. And Whitmore! Theodore Whitmore. Got absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Paul and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. And it's now 2-0.